Welcome to CRJ 211. This week we're looking at Chapter 16, which talks about arrest, interrogation, and identification procedures. So obviously, when we look at this, let's first look at the term arrest. It refers to depriving a person of liberty, and it's done by someone who has the legal authority to do so, like a police officer. Now, generally, an arrest occurs when a person is suspected of having committed a crime is taken into custody by a police officer. Although in some circumstances, a private individual can effect arrest. This is what we call citizen's arrest. Now, interrogation refers to the questioning of a suspect by law enforcement officers, and it's either done to elicit a confession, admission, or to get information that otherwise would help assist them in solving a crime. The identification of a suspect involves different scientific and non-scientific methods. Now, both arrest and interrogation play a very crucial role in law enforcement, and both are serious intrusions into the privacy of the individual and are subject to constitutional restraints. Now, because an arrest is really in effect a seizure of a person, it is subject to the requirements of the Fourth Amendment. In other words, there has to be probable cause. Now, because police interrogation of a suspect has the potential for self-incrimination, it is subject to certain limitations that are imposed by the Fifth Amendment. And again, identification methods are also subjected to certain constitutional constraints. So after reading this chapter, you should be able to explain several things, and to understand them as well. One being how an arrest differs from an investigatory detention, and what are the constitutional standards that apply to each. You should also know when and how police have to get a warrant to make an arrest, and when a warrantless arrest is permissible. You need to know the difference between probable cause and reasonable suspicion and the situations to which those different standards apply. You should also understand the degree to which police can use force to make arrests and why it's important for an arrested person to appear promptly before the judge or the court. You also need to know what constitutes police interrogation of a suspect and why the courts require police to warn suspects in custody of their constitutional rights before questioning. And this is also called the Miranda rights from the case Miranda versus Arizona. You also should understand the factors that the court considers in determining whether confessions are admissible as evidence in a court case. And finally, you should understand the various methods that police use to identify suspects, and then the constitutional standards that apply to those different identification procedures. Next time, we'll take a look at Chapter 17, which explores the pre-trial process.